Hello everyone, welcome back. Miss Fernanda here. This video is a brief summary of the class we had today, October the 27th. This is our last class of October and it's our last class of the unit 2, our unit called Customs and Traditions All Over the World. Today, we review a new English word of the day. We played a game, a competition between Tercero Medio A and Tercero Medio B. Then we talk about fake news. We review our handout 11, and then you ask some questions. The first section of the day is the English word of the day. And it's an idiom. That means that an idiom, do you remember what an idiom is? An idiom is something that it's not the literal meaning of the word. The word of today is in a nutshell. Literalmente, nutshell means la cáscara de la nuez. Pero este es un idiom, entonces no nos referimos al significado literal de la palabra. Entonces, con el profesor Marcos hicimos un diálogo, el que tenemos aquí. Hey, I heard you went to the doctor yesterday. How did that go? Well, that's a long story. Do you want the long version or the short one? I guess the short version. Well, I won't tell you the whole story, but in a nutshell, I got COVID. So, what do you think in a nutshell means? Here are the options. Alternative A, to get COVID. Alternative B, to describe something very briefly. Or alternative C, to describe something giving many details. What do you think it means? The right answer is alternative B. And here you can actually see some examples, some synonyms that you can use instead of in a nutshell. Entonces, in a nutshell es similar a lo que decimos en Chile como cuento corto, esto pasó. Muy bien. Así que ahora nos movemos a la segunda parte de esta clase, que fue un juego. Este fue una competencia entre tercero medio A y tercero medio B. Algunos de ustedes eligieron distintas preguntas de aquí, like number 5. Pepsi tastes better than Coca-Cola. What do you think that is? Is that a fact or an opinion? Let's see. It's an opinion. Why? Because I'm giving my opinion. Aquí estoy diciendo lo que yo pienso. Yo pienso que la Pepsi sabe mejor que la Coca-Cola. Entonces es una opinión, no es un hecho. We can see some other examples like here. Michael Jackson was known as the king of pop. ¿Esto es un hecho o una opinión? ¿Qué crees tú? Es un hecho. Es un hecho que Michael Jackson era conocido como el rey del pop. Let's see 2 more. Number 16. The scientific name for killer whales is Orcinus orca. What do you think that is? Is that a fact or an opinion? Yes, it is a fact. And the last one, number 3, Apple is better than Samsung, and there is no doubt about that. What do you think it is? Is that a fact or an opinion? If you said an opinion, then you're right. Very good. En este juego, al parecer, ganó tercero medio B. Pero tercero medio A, eso no es razón para decepcionarse porque para el próximo juego puede que ustedes sean los ganadores. All right, then we move on to the third part of our lesson that was talking about fake news. And in this part, we discuss about these questions over here. Where do you get your news? Some of you said from TV, Instagram, internet. What are some reliable sources are they trustworthy? Can you think of any reliable sources? Some of you said there are no reliable sources because you always have to check what you're looking at. Other people said that maybe some TV news were reliable sources. The third thing was, what's a fake news story? Y ahí me comentaron un poco de qué conocían ustedes como una fake news stories, qué consideraban como fake news. Y lo más importante, creo yo, fue how do you avoid fake news? You mentioned some strategies you use to identify what fake news are. Good, guys. Then we watched this video about 5 ways to spot fake news. You took notes of this video and now we are going to watch it as well. So remember, you should take notes and identify the 5 ways to spot fake news, to locate, to realize if there is a fake news or not. So let's watch it.
Have to become digital detectives. The first is, where is this information coming from? A lot of fake news sites try to create a URL which is similar to a URL of a publication that you might know and you might be familiar with. Ultimately, the best way to understand whether or not a site is trustworthy is to actually read the content on the site. Not just one article on it, but other articles, and see, do they meet the standards of quality journalism? And if it makes you really angry or really sad or it makes you burst out laughing, that's actually a red flag to you because it's kind of short-circuiting your logic center or your ability to think. I can look up the author of that article. I can see the other things that they've written. Is there an author of the article? Because that's an important tip in helping us figure out whether or not this piece of information is actually real and trustworthy. If I read something that says, scientists say that chocolate cake makes you smarter. Well, what scientists? And what exactly did they say? One of the ways in which rumor spreads is that a lot of people keep repeating the same information, but nobody has verified it. So journalists depend on high quality sources, so experts. How did you come across this information? How do you know that this information is true? Someone takes that photo that maybe 3 years ago and say, this is happening right now. We saw a lot of that during the recent hurricanes. Using a reverse image search on Google can tell you where that image has appeared before and who has shared it. That can give you important tips as to whether or not the image is original, whether or not the image is in its original context. Really important context because context is very funny. This is what we have to do. We try to drill down a little bit deeper than that first tweet that tells you that chocolate cake makes you smarter.
All right, so could you identify the 5 ways to spot fake news? Let's see the first one. Where is the information coming from? ¿De dónde viene la información? Esto es lo principal que tenemos que ver. ¿De dónde viene esta información? ¿Viene de un website que es confiable? ¿Viene de una página de internet? ¿Viene de Twitter? ¿Viene de las noticias? ¿De dónde viene? Después, does the headline sound neutral? ¿Recuerdas lo que decía el video en esta parte? Si el título de la noticia te hace sentir alguna emoción como tristeza o enojo o te da mucha risa, entonces el título de esta noticia no es realmente neutral y está buscando generar cierta emoción en ti. Entonces, si la noticia busca generar cierta emoción en ti, puede que sea una fake news. Tercero, who wrote it? Very important. Who is the author of the article? ¿Quién es el autor del artículo o de la noticia? Si es posible, Google it. Google the name of the author. Now you have Google, so you can Google anything, anyone, and you can know who the person is. Podemos saber lo que escribió con anterioridad, las cosas que ha hecho, y así podemos saber si la persona que lo escribió realmente es una persona confiable. What are the article sources? Very important. Y acá hablaba un poco de algo que es muy similar a lo que pasa. Por ejemplo, un rumor. El rumor normalmente se esparce, you can spread a rumor very easily if you don't check the source of the information, la fuente de la información. Tenemos que ver cuáles son las fuentes que tiene esta noticia para decir esa historia. Y finalmente, are the images accurate? ¿Acaso las imágenes son precisas? Como decía anteriormente, hoy día tenemos Google, so you can Google it, you can Google the image and see the date of the image or see if it has been used before. So there are many options, especially these 5 ways to spot fake news. Así que genial. Si ahora con estos 5 pasos puedes identificar las fake news, then that's perfect. Luego la cuarta parte de nuestra clase fue revisar la handout 11. En esta handout están las instrucciones paso a paso para ingresar a la página PenPal Schools, crear tu cuenta, ingresar tu nombre de usuario, recuerda que tiene que ser el nombre y el apellido, ingresar con Join with the Teacher, and enter the classroom code, that is in 65621. Una vez que ya estés adentro, tienes que hacer clic en Start My Project, aquí, y elige cualquiera de estos proyectos. En este momento el proyecto no es relevante porque no nos vamos a fijar en esto, pero es importante que lo hagas para que puedas ingresar a ver las otras actividades. Luego, el paso 5, vas a ver esto en tu pantalla y tienes que hacer clic en Learn with PenPals y hacer estas 2 actividades, solo estas 2 actividades. Meet PenPals and Facts, Opinions and Fake News. Recuerda que cuando ingreses a las actividades vas a ver un video y además puedes elegir tu nivel de lectura. Puedes elegir principiante. Si consideras que es muy fácil, entonces puedes intentar con nivel intermedio. Y si quieres desafiarte un poco más, puedes elegir el nivel avanzado. Luego escribes tu respuesta y la publicas. Una vez que ya la publiques, vas a poder comentar otros posts de otra gente de otros países y otra gente va a poder comentar tus propios posts. Recuerda que si tienes cualquier tipo de duda sobre la Handout 11, no dudes en escribirme a través de Classroom y voy a responderte tan pronto como me sea posible. Finalmente tuvimos a Q&A, questions and answers, and that was it. So that's the end of the class. Eso fue todo por hoy, chicos. Recuerden que si tienen alguna duda voy a estar muy pendiente de Classroom para responder sus preguntas. And that's all for today. Take care, be safe, wash your hands, and see you next week. Bye.